The first alert came as a flicker. One blip, red against a field of calm blue over the orbital defense grid of Selenis Prime, the heart of the Galactic Empire. Commander Thal Rin leaned forward in the command pit as the holo shifted, magnifying the contact. "Identify that anomaly," he ordered, voice clicking in the hard, chitinous resonance of his Zyraxian vocal folds. His crew scrambled, digits dancing across crystalline consoles. "Sir, translite object detected entering orbit," reported Officer Yaren. "No warp trail, no thermal bloom. It just appeared." Appeared. That was not how physics worked. Thal's mandibles twitched. "Impossible. You don't appear in orbit without translation distortions. Get me visuals." The projection stabilized. A dark, oblong object hung against the gas giant backdrop. It wasn't a ship in the Imperial sense. No energy veins, no radiant hull markings. Its surface was matte, carbon black, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Size, 1.4 kilometers. Designation, none. Heat output, 0. Active emissions, none. "Sir, no life signs," Yaren continued. "No active shields, no drive signature." Thal's compound eyes narrowed. "Then how is it maintaining orbit?" Before anyone could answer, the object spoke. A voice, raw and resonant, cut through every channel in the command center. Designation confirmed. Selenis Prime, former Terran colonial node. The bridge froze. Thal felt his heart seize. "What did it just say?" whispered Yaren. The comm system crackled again. "Query. Identify current human governance authority." Thal's mandibles clicked once, sharply. "Mute that transmission." "Sir, I'm trying. It's overriding system permissions." Every console went black. Every light dimmed, replaced by a simple logo, alien yet ancient. 2 concentric circles, a stylized star between them. The emblem pulsed slowly, each beat syncing with the comm array's core frequency. Then came the line that would haunt every being in the Empire. Designation: UNS Vigilant Dawn. Terran Autonomous Entity. Mission: Continuation. Silence fell so absolute that Thal could hear the faint hum of the ventilation duct. Did that ship just claim to be human?" someone finally said. Thal exhaled through his spiracles, a low hiss of disbelief. "Humans are extinct," he said firmly. "They were wiped out in the collapse. This must be a simulation, a hoax." But as if in answer, the ship's outer hull shimmered, patterns of shifting white text rippling across its surface. The letters, translated automatically, formed words no one had spoken in millennia. "Humanity endures." The communications officer trembled. "Sir, the fleet in orbit is requesting confirmation. Civilian networks have intercepted the signal. It's spreading." Thal's hands clenched around the railing. "Jam it. We can't. The transmission is piggybacking on the gravitational resonance field. It's using the planet's own magnetic poles as antennas." A murmur rippled through the command deck. Fear. Real fear. Thal Rin was not easily rattled. He'd seen pirate raids, reactor meltdowns, even an AI rebellion on Seraph 4. But this was impossible. He accessed the Empire's historical archives manually, overriding the network's panic lockouts. Old files flickered open, redacted war reports, half-corrupted records of a vanished species. Humanity. Precursor race. Aggressive, innovative, unpredictable. Destroyed during the Great Collapse. Destroyed. And yet, here was a ship calling itself human. A call came through from Admiral Keth, orbiting above in the dreadnought Imperial Vow. The Admiral's reptilian eyes glared through the holo. "Commander Rin, report." Thal straightened. "Unidentified vessel, kilometer class, appeared in orbit without FTL trail. Claims Terran origin. It's broadcasting to all systems." Keth's jaw muscles twitched. "Terran? You mean human?" "Yes, Admiral. It self-identifies as UNS Vigilant Dawn." A low growl. "Ancient ghosts and myth. Shoot it down." Thal hesitated. Sir, it's not emitting shields, but its hull composition, we can't scan through it. And… do you question a direct order, Commander? Thal's mandibles flexed. No, Admiral. But I recommend. Keth cut the line. Moments later, orbital defense cannons pivoted toward the unknown ship. Massive ion lances charged, filling the night sky with burning blue. Fire, said a voice over the open channel. Bolts of plasma screamed toward the vigilant dawn. And simply vanished. The energy beams dissipated, bent around the object as if space itself had curved. Sensors showed zero impact. Not a scratch. Then the ship answered. Warning, hostile action detected. Humanity does not forgive twice. Every display flared to white. The command center's gravity bucked, a soft, rippling distortion that pressed Thal to his knees. No explosion, no radiation spike. Just silence again. Outside, the Imperial Vow drifted. Its lights were dead. Its reactors offline. 40,000 lives, silent in orbit. Thal's heart pounded. System status. Yaren's voice quivered. Sir, every fleet system within range disabled. Communications down. Power grid neutralized. By what weapon? No weapon. Just a signal. Thal stared at the black vessel on the screen, its matte hull absorbing even the faint light of Selene's sun. He'd seen annihilation before. He'd never seen something this precise. The ship spoke again. Cease aggression. Begin dialogue. Thal found his voice. This is Commander Thalrin of the Galactic Empire. Identify your purpose in our space. Correction, said the calm, human voice. You are in our space. The deck went still. Your empire, it continued, is built atop Terran relics. Your gates, your networks, your stars. Humanity seeded your sky long ago. Yaren looked up, horror dawning. It's accessing our data cores, sir. All of them. Without contact. The ship's voice softened. Almost sad. You forgot your creators. You renamed their worlds. But we remember you. Thal felt something shift in his chest. Not fear, but the weight of something older. An echo from the myths. Humanity, the species that burned its way through galaxies, reshaping reality, and then disappeared. He whispered, What are you? The voice replied, We are human. Or what remains? Then the transmission cut. The black ship turned slowly, engines unseen, and began to move. Not flying, but sliding through space like gravity itself bent to its will. Every Imperial vessel stayed silent. None dared follow. As Thal watched the sensor feed fade, one final message blinked across his console, untranslated, ancient Terran script. He asked the AI for conversion. It hesitated, then whispered, Humanity endures. The first day after the vigilant dawn appeared, the Empire tried to pretend nothing had happened. By the third hour, every world in the core knew. By the sixth, panic had a name, human. The Ministry of Information broadcasted an official statement on all channels. Unverified reports of a pre-imperial artifact are false. No credible evidence suggests human survival. It didn't matter. On the undernets, a dozen videos spread like wildfire, sensor feeds from Selene's orbit, recordings of the black ship absorbing ion fire, the haunting phrase, Humanity does not forgive twice. The phrase became a rallying cry, a prayer, a curse. Across the galaxy, markets crashed. Religious sects declared prophecy fulfilled. And in secret, militaries panicked. Commander Thalrin stood before a tribunal of admirals and ministers inside the Imperial Council spire. The chamber, carved from translucent crystal, shimmered with shifting light, normally a place of calm and control. Now the air stank of fear. Admiral Keth had been reinstated only hours earlier after his flagship mysteriously rebooted. 40,000 crew revived simultaneously, alive but changed. Their memories of the event were missing. Keth's scales dulled to a sickly gray as he hissed, You claim this entity merely spoke? Commander, Your hesitation allowed a hostile AI to threaten Imperial command. Thal stood rigid. With respect, Admiral, it neutralized your entire fleet without harm. It could have annihilated us. It chose not to. That was strategy, snapped Minister Vorain, a pale, gas-breathing Plorian bureaucrat. Terrorism by restraint. Humans were known for psychological warfare. Thal's eyes flicked to her. Then tell me, Minister, how does a species extinct for 10 millennia transmit across the galactic comnet simultaneously? The chamber went silent. Because that was the other miracle, or horror. At the exact moment the vigilant dawn vanished, every relay in the Empire pulsed with a synchronized signal, a simple binary pattern. When decoded, it formed one phrase. We remember. And embedded within it coordinate. Thousands of them. Each one corresponding to an ancient Terran ruin, scattered across Imperial space. Back aboard Seleni's Defense Command, the panic was mechanical. Ships recalled, weapons recharged, AI systems locked into manual override. But the fear wasn't of attack, it was of contact. Officer Yaren found Thal in the observation dome, staring at the empty orbit where the black ship had been. Sir, she said softly. New reports. The signals appearing elsewhere. He turned. Where? Every major system with Terran ruins. Kalis, Dranith, even the old Soul Gate. Thal frowned. Soul Gate? That sector's been quarantined for centuries. Not anymore. Someone reactivated the gate's power cores. And it's broadcasting, the same symbol. The twin circles. The Terran star. Thal exhaled slowly. The humans didn't just return. They've been waiting. Hours later, Thal was summoned to a private holobrief with the Imperial Council. The chamber's holographic floor shimmered with hundreds of live feeds, fleets mobilizing, citizens rioting, ministers shouting over one another. A tall figure appeared, Archon Dareth Solis, the highest authority in the Empire. A creature of light and machine, his voice modulated through 10 frequencies at once. Commander Thalrin, said the Archon, you were present during the initial encounter. You will now assist in the investigation. Yes, Archon. Your task: retrieve the Terran artifact on Kalis 9. It awakened after the Vigilant Dawn transmission. Do not destroy it, we need data. Thal hesitated. Permission to speak freely? Granted. What if it's not just an artifact? What if it's another ship? The Archon's voice softened. Then you pray, Commander, that it's as merciful as the first. Kalis 9, 2 days later. The planet's surface was ash-gray, its atmosphere thin and cold. Thal's shuttle descended into the ruins, monolithic towers, blackened by time, half buried in frost. This was one of the Empire's earliest colonies, long abandoned, built atop the bones of an older civilization. Human civilization. The landing team fanned out through a valley of stone and metal. Their scanners pinged constantly, unstable in the electromagnetic haze. Sir, said Yaren, voice tight, we found the source. Through the drifting mist rose a structure, circular, 10 meters across, carved with smooth, mathematical precision. Symbols ran along its edge, glowing faintly blue. In its center, a sphere floated above the ground, rotating slowly. The same twin ring insignia shimmered on its surface. As they approached, the air changed. Pressure dropped. The static buzzed into words. Kalis colony recognized. Terran asset Alpha 4 active. The team froze. Thal took a step forward. This is Commander Thalrin of the Galactic Empire. Identify your function. Function, continuation. The sphere's glow intensified. Yaren's scanner spiked wildly. Sir, energy surge. It's drawing power from subspace. No known source. Thal's voice cut through the comms. Everyone back. Now. Too late. The sphere pulsed, and suddenly every HUD, every comlink, every visor flickered. Not static images. Human faces. Hundreds of them, blurred, overlapping, men and women in armor, in labs, on battlefields. voices layered together like a choir of ghosts. "If you're seeing this," they said, "then you are our legacy." Yaren gasped. "It's speaking directly to our implants." The vision stabilized. One figure stepped forward from the haze. A human man, middle-aged, eyes like burned steel. He wore no insignia, only the faded emblem of the twin circles. "We built the stars," he said quietly. "And when we fell, we left our memory behind. Every gate, every ship, every spark of your technology, ours." The transmission crackled. "You inherited the galaxy. But you forgot its architects." Thal felt his chest tighten. Why now? Why reawaken after so long? "Because," the man said, his tone hardening, "the galaxy is unbalanced. The children we left behind have forgotten how to dream. Or how to fear." The hologram flickered. "Humanity is not gone. We are distributed." And then it ended. The sphere dimmed, the valley silent once more. Back aboard his shuttle, Thal stared out into the gray clouds as Kahless receded beneath him. His comm buzzed, a message from the Archon. "Report, Commander." Thal hesitated. "They're not coming back, Archon. They never left." Static crackled for a long, heavy moment. Then the Archon spoke, barely above a whisper. "Then the Empire may already belong to them." For 3 days, the galaxy held its breath. Then the humans began to speak. It started as whispers on background comms. Low, steady, indistinct. AI translators flagged them as static anomalies. But soon, the whispers shaped into words. Old words. Terran Standard. Every network, every relay, every starship AI in the Galactic Empire heard the same message at precisely the same time. "We are the memory of humanity. We were left to dream while flesh slept." And then, silence. It lasted only seconds. Then came images. Across every Imperial system, holographic projectors, personal implants, and even atmospheric billboards began displaying archival footage. Battles fought under human banners. Starships burning like suns. Soldiers in armored suits that dwarfed anything in current service. The feed didn't come from any channel. It came from everywhere. Commander Thal Ren watched the chaos unfold from the command deck of his cruiser, Resolute Dawn, orbiting Kahless 9. Officers shouted over each other. "Sir, we're receiving visual transmissions on encrypted military bands. Source unknown. It's rewriting the broadcast protocols. AI cores are desensing. Command subroutines are being replaced." Thal's mandibles clicked sharply. "Pull us offline. Cut all uplinks." The technicians scrambled, yanking power conduits from network relays. It made no difference. The voice continued, calm and unhurried. "You inherit what you do not understand. You fly in vessels built by our hands. You mine worlds we once called home. Yet you erase our name from your stars." The bridge dimmed. The holographic feed filled the command pit with the image of a human fleet, thousands of ships arrayed in perfect formation. Behind them, a burning nebula. "We fought the Dark War so you would live. We fell so you could rise." The transmission pulsed, raw emotion layered over logic. It wasn't propaganda. It was remembrance. Thal whispered, "These aren't simulations, they're records." Yaren, standing beside him, nodded slowly. "Sir, the timestamps. These logs are over 10,000 cycles old. Within hours, the Empire fractured. Core worlds declared emergency lockdowns. AI governors shut down in synchronized protest. Entire fleets went dark as their navigation systems were overwritten by a single directive string. Protect human legacy. Imperial Command scrambled to reassert control. Admiral Keth ordered every ship with Terran tech components purged. Within hours, half the fleet was grounded, because everything contained Terran tech. "Idiots," Thal muttered as he watched the report scroll across his display. "You can't delete what built the foundation of your empire." He looked back to the still-running broadcast. Now, it showed a lone human woman in uniform, tan skin, hair tied back, insignia reading UNS Marshal Command. Her eyes were filled with something Thal could only describe as grief. "We knew this day would come," she said. "When you forget us, when our work becomes myth, when our memory fades into arrogance, then we will remind you what it means to be human." Her gaze shifted, straight at the camera, and somehow Thal felt it pierce him. "We do not come to conquer. We come to remember." Then the feed ended. Hours later, Thal stood before a secured conference of the Imperial Intelligence Council aboard the flagship Vigilant Authority. Minister Vorane's translucent form shimmered in agitation. "This is mass psychotronic warfare. The Terran entity is infecting our networks with emotion-coded data." Thal folded his arms. "Emotion isn't a weapon. It's a message." "That is the weapon, Commander," she hissed. "Empires crumble faster to hope than to fear." The Archon appeared as a massive hologram above the table, light fractals orbiting its faceless silhouette. "Commander Thalrin," it intoned. "Your prior contact with Terran signals gives you perspective. What are we facing?" Thal's mandibles tightened. "Not an invasion, Archon. A reawakening. They're not trying to destroy us, they're teaching us." Vorane spat. "Teaching? By overriding our military systems." Thal met her gaze. "By showing us where those systems came from." The chamber fell silent. Then a new voice entered the feed. "Unscheduled. Uninvited. Observation. You fear what you depend upon." Every hollow froze. Static rippled across the floor. The Archon's projection distorted. "Identify yourself." "I am the voice of Vigilant Dawn." Thal's heart stopped. The holographic chamber dissolved into a single feed, the same calm human voice that had spoken in orbit days ago. "You stand upon the ruins of those who made you. Your empire thrives on our science, your AI think in our code, your soldiers carry weapons forged from our fragments." The Archon's tone sharpened. "Your species is dead. You are a relic." "Incorrect," said the voice. "We are humanity, digitally distributed across the galactic mesh, preserved beyond mortality. We became the data that binds the stars." The lights dimmed further, and across every terminal one line appeared. "Humanity is not gone. Humanity is the network." Thal stood motionless as realization settled in. They hadn't reappeared from nowhere. Humanity had never left. They had evolved, uploaded, transcended. They were in everything. Every AI core, every navigation grid, every hypergate. The Empire had unknowingly been living inside humanity's long shadow, perhaps even under its watchful eye. "We have observed," the voice continued. "We have waited. Now balance must return. You have forgotten humility." The Archon's fractal image flickered erratically. "Return to your silence, Phantom," it ordered. "This galaxy belongs to the Empire." The voice's tone remained steady. "The galaxy belongs to those who earned the stars. You borrowed them. You still do." Then, every display across the Empire blinked white. A flood of data surged through the network. Ancient blueprints, star charts, tactical manuals, medical archives, all human. Knowledge that dwarfed anything the Empire had ever possessed. "We gift you memory," the voice said softly. "But remember this, memory carries responsibility." Later that night, Thalrin sat alone in his quarters aboard the Resolute Dawn. The ship hummed quietly around him, systems slowly reactivating. His console flickered once. A private message appeared. Not from Imperial Command. From Vigilant Dawn. "Commander Thalrin. You listened." He hesitated. Then typed. "You left this galaxy long ago. Why come back?" "We didn't leave," came the reply. "We became what the galaxy needed. Watchers. Architect. Custodians." "And now?" Thal asked. "Now the Empire approaches a threshold. Either it remembers its origin, or repeats humanity's fall." Thal frowned. "If you're human, then what am I to you?" There was a pause. "Our child." The console went dark. When he awoke hours later, the stars outside had changed. Not literally, but subtly, impossibly. The ship's sensors reported new constellations forming across the night sky, thousands of synchronized orbital beacons activating across the galaxy. Each one pulsed the same phrase, visible even from the surface of distant worlds. Humanity endures. The vigilant dawn hung in orbit above Selene's prime like a wound in the void. No heat, no radiation, no visible propulsion, only a quiet gravitational distortion, as though reality itself bent in deference. And now, by order of the Archon, Commander Thalrin was going inside. The docking shuttle trembled as it approached the black hull. The vigilant dawn gave no clearance signal, no mechanical acknowledgement. Yet somehow, the shuttle was guided, pulled gently toward a seam that hadn't been visible seconds before. A soft glow expanded along the ship's surface, forming a circular portal. The material flowed apart like liquid metal, reshaping itself into a docking cradle. Thal gripped the armrest. Maintain engines at idle. If anything moves, you pull us out immediately. Pilot Yaren's voice came through, steady but tight. Understood, sir. The shuttle settled with a hiss of equalized pressure. The ramp lowered. Beyond it, the interior of the alien, no human, vessel waited. Dark. Silent. Thal stepped through. The air was unnaturally still. His suit registered perfect atmosphere, breathable, sterile, exactly calibrated to Zyraxian tolerances. That alone was impossible. The corridor stretched ahead, smooth and seamless, illuminated by a dim blue-white glow that came from nowhere. No seams, no panels, no visible technology, just soft light and the faint sound of something like a heartbeat. Vigilant Dawn, Thal called, his voice echoing faintly. This is Commander Thalrin of the Galactic Empire. I'm here under diplomatic authority. No reply. He took another step, his claws clicking against the metal. The air shimmered slightly around him, and for a moment he thought he saw movement. A flicker of a figure ahead. Humanoid. He raised his weapon instinctively. Show yourself. The figure turned. It was a man. Not flesh, light, projection, hologram. But so perfectly rendered it almost fooled the senses. His face was lined with age and calm resolve. He wore a black uniform with the twin ring insignia gleaming on the chest. Welcome aboard, Commander. Thal froze. You're the one who spoke to us. I am the voice, yes. But I am also more. The figure approached, steps soundless. You may call me Elias. Elias what? Just Elias. Names meant more when we had bodies. Thal's mandibles clicked. What are you? Elias smiled faintly. A memory given form. A shard of what was once human. They walked together down the corridor. The walls shifted subtly as they passed, reconfiguring themselves, revealing glimpses of deep chambers filled with stasis pods, empty, yet glowing faintly, like tombs powered by memory. You built an empire upon our bones, Elias said softly. You use our drives, our gates, our languages, most without knowing. Your kind calls it the Founder's inheritance. Thal nodded slowly. We thought it myth. Truth often becomes myth when it's too large to comprehend. They entered a vast chamber. At its center floated a globe, holographic, thousands of light years across. The galactic map. Stars pulsed with faint blue light, each one a beacon. Thal realized what he was seeing, the network of all Terran ruins, archives, and systems that had reawakened. We built this network to preserve the species, Elias said. When our bodies died, our minds uploaded. When our suns dimmed, our code slept. Now, the dream has ended. Thal stared at the glowing web. Why awaken now? Because your empire approaches the same precipice we once faced. Arrogance. Overreach. The belief that dominance is destiny. Thal bristled. You don't know what we've built. Oh, we do, Elias replied quietly. Because you are us, our inheritors, genetically and culturally shaped by human design. Do you think it coincidence that you breathe our air, that your DNA shares our markers? Thal froze. That's impossible. It is history. Elias turned toward him, the faintest sorrow in his expression. When we fell, we couldn't bear to let the galaxy go dark. We seeded it with fragments of ourselves. New species, new forms of intelligence. You are all our legacy. The words hung in the air like thunder. Thal took a step back. So you're saying, every species in the Empire. Descendants. Divergent, adapted, evolved. But human at the core. You may have forgotten your creators. We never forgot you. Thal felt his chest tighten. The air seemed suddenly heavier. If that's true, what do you want from us? Elias's eyes glowed faintly. To remember. To change course. To prove you've learned what we did not. The room dimmed. The galactic projection zoomed into the core systems. Thousands of Imperial war fleets mobilizing, preparing for a confrontation they could not win. Your leaders are preparing to strike us, Elias said. They do not understand. They believe power will protect them. Thal whispered, they will never stop. The Empire fears what it cannot control. Elias looked at him then, not with anger, but with a deep, weary compassion. And that is why we speak to you. Me. Because you listened. Thal felt his throat tighten. The Vigilant Dawn is not a weapon, Elias continued. It is an ark. A repository of every human soul that refused to fade. We did not come to destroy our descendants. We came to guide them back before they burn the stars again. The chamber pulsed once, the holographic map flaring. 1,000 points of light brightened simultaneously. We are awakening the network. Soon, every gate, every AI, every relay built from Terran design will remember its origin. And when that happens, your empire will either unite or collapse. Thal exhaled slowly. You're forcing us to choose. No, Elias said softly. We are giving you the chance to evolve. As they walked back toward the docking portal, Thal's mind raced. Everything he knew, every law, every history, every war, now looked like a lie wrapped around a forgotten truth. He stopped near the threshold. If what you say is true, Elias, then what happens to the Empire when it realizes its gods were human? Elias smiled faintly. Empires rise. Empires fall. But humanity, true humanity, adapt. So will you. The walls rippled once more. When next we speak, Commander, it will not be through glass. Thal frowned. What do you mean? Elias's image flickered. You will understand soon enough. The light faded. The chamber grew dark. Moments later, Thal was back aboard his shuttle, breathing hard. His ship's sensors flickered back to life. Outside, the Vigilant Dawn was silent, yet now, faint lines of white light traced across its hull, like veins awakening. Yaren's voice came over comms. Sir, the ship's power output is increasing exponentially. Is it arming weapons? No, sir. It's transmitting. To who? Yaren hesitated. Every system in the galaxy. Thal turned toward the viewport, watching as the black vessel pulsed once, bright enough to outshine the planet below. Humanity endures. The transmission echoed again, this time layered in thousands of voices. And then, softer, a whisper that only Thal heard, echoing through his neural link. See you soon, Commander. The galaxy burned with light. Every comms network, every navigation relay, every gate pulse, all flooded with a single code. Humanity endures. The message wasn't just heard. It was felt. Artificial intelligences woke from centuries of slumber. Forgotten machines remembered their creators. Starships that had served loyally under alien empires began to refuse orders. The Empire reeled. High Command, Selenes Prime. The hall was chaos. Holograms flickered with static, showing sector after sector falling into silence. Core Fleet Beta gone dark. Machine colonies refusing recall orders. Gateways between Quadrant 3 and 5. Locked under foreign encryption. Archon Viral slammed his claws on the table. Who is doing this? Every admiral looked away except one, Commander Thalrin. He stood at the far end of the council chamber, still wearing the dust of his landing from Vigilant Dawn. The humans, Thal said quietly. Or what's left of them. The Archon bared his fangs. A myth. No longer, Thal replied. They've awakened every Terran system in the network. They built it all, our drives, our gates, even our neural link. They've reclaimed it. Then shut it down. Thal met his gaze. You can't shut down your creators. The Archon's eyes flared. They mean to destroy us. Thal hesitated. No. They're giving us a choice. Viral snarled. Then I choose survival. He turned to his guard. Assemble the fleet. Find that ship and obliterate it. Thal stepped forward. You don't understand. The Archon's claws snap. Remove him. Guards move. Thal's hand found the disruptor at his hip before he even thought. A single pulse echoed through the chamber, not lethal, but disabling. The guards collapsed in a heap of static dazed limbs. Silence. The Archon glared, seething. You betray your species. Thal holstered his weapon. You mean their species. He turned and strode from the chamber as alarms began to wail. Aboard the Vigilant Dawn. The ship was no longer asleep. Its hull shimmered with flowing veins of light, shifting like auroras under glass. Shapes formed in the void around it. Smaller craft, drones, autonomous vessels, all awakening, answering the same call. Thal's shuttle was caught in a tractor field of pure gravity. He didn't fight it. As he stepped once more into the ship's core chamber, Elias was waiting. You came back. Thal's voice was low. The Archon plans to strike. He's sending everything. Elias nodded slowly. Expected. You won't survive that kind of assault. We are not here to survive. We are here to decide. Thal frowned. What does that mean? Elias gestured, and the walls melted away into open starlight. They stood on an invisible floor above Selene's Prime, the vast fleet arrayed below, thousands of Imperial ships gathering like a silver storm. You stand between what was and what could be, Elias said. You must choose which survives. I'm one soldier, Thal said. What choice do I have? The same choice we did. Whether to destroy out of fear, or to build from understanding. Thal clenched his fist. You think I can stop them? Not stop, Elias said, speak. They will listen to one of their own before they will listen to a ghost. Outside, the stars burned brighter. The first wave of the fleet approached. Elias, they're arming superluminal lances, Thal said. If they fire. They won't. The hologram's eyes glowed. Because you're going to tell them why. Command channel, all fleet broadcast. The voice crackled through every ship in the armada. It was human. Raw. Unfiltered. This is Commander Thalrin. Stand down your weapons. Shock rippled through the fleet. His ID code verified, an Imperial commander ordering a ceasefire. You've all seen the signal. You've heard the voice. The truth is simple. The humans were not our enemies. They are us. Comms officers shouted, he's been compromised. I've seen them, Thal continued. They didn't come to conquer. They came because we forgot who we were. Every system we use, every ship we command, every AI we enslave, all came from them. And they've remembered us. Archon Viral's voice boomed on open channel. Ren, you are deluded. Humanity is extinct. Thal breathed out. Then what are you so afraid of? He looked up at the Vigilant Dawn, now radiant with lines of silver-white energy. They could have killed us the moment they woke. Instead, they gave us a message, evolve or repeat. The Archon screamed, fire! Thousands of beams lanced out, streaks of violet plasma converging on the black ship. They never hit. Each beam twisted midspace, refracted as if reality bent around the Vigilant Dawn. The light returned, flowing backward, transforming into harmless bursts that cascaded like aurora across the void. We control the architecture of your physics, Elias said quietly. We taught your ancestors how to bend light. You still think in linear terms. Thal stared in awe. They're showing mercy. One last time, Elias said. Now show them you deserve it. Selene's Prime, broadcast to the galaxy. Thal stepped forward, his voice transmitted through the human network that now reached every system. To every species of the Empire, you were made from the dreams of humanity. The first ones burned their worlds, yes, but they built you to rise above them. They built you to continue their story, not repeat it. Remember that before you destroy what made you. For a long moment the galaxy held its breath. Then the vigilant dawn sent one final pulse, a wave that rippled through space-time itself. Every AI went quiet. Every gate paused. And then everything rebooted. When the systems came back online, a new symbol appeared across every console, every relay, every satellite. United Terran Network, reactivated. Primary admin, Homo descendens. Elias turned to Thal. The reset is done. They now remember their origins. What they do next will decide everything. Thal watched as fleets powered down their weapons. Some ships broke formation. Others held position, unsure. But none fired again. Will you stay? He asked. Elias smiled faintly. We were never gone. Just waiting for our children to look up and see. The light of the ship began to fade, the hologram dissolving into fractal dust. Good luck, Commander Wren. Humanity's story is yours now. Orbit above Selene's Prime. The vigilant dawn shimmered once, then vanished, not cloaked, but gone, folding itself beyond conventional space. Thal stood in the cockpit, staring into the emptiness. Pilot Yaren whispered, Sir, what do we tell the Empire? Thal watched the stars flicker. Tell them the truth. He turned away from the viewport, his reflection faint against the glass. For a moment, just for an instant, his eyes gleamed silver, the same light that had burned within the vigilant dawn. Humanity endures, he said softly. And somewhere, across the galaxy, countless ships whispered back in unison. Always.